Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hi, kids. It's Mike Matthews, the clown. How are you? It's Do Re Mi, the clown. No, it's Mike Matthews, the clown. I'm a clown. Welcome to my podcast. We bring you the news now, as it's happening now. Oh wait, how can we bring it to you now? It's not. It's a podcast. You're listening to this later. Oh well, we're kind of bringing the podcast news to you at this moment.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Today we have Benita.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The Disgruntled Fiddle Player and the Brewmaster. There's something that I have to say, and that's bastion of something. What? I failed. My song failed. Oh well.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I was going to tell you that I'm not a fan of people coming up to me and saying, Mike's. I mean, they can do that, but
Daily
the thing is,
Podcast.
They're asking me to download apps.
Yeah!
Oh, Mike, there's an app for that. Here, let me take your phone from your hand and download an app for you. Do you get that, people? Like, pressuring you to put app on your phone? I was talking to my insurance guy yesterday, and he said, well, one of the apps he suggested was great. It was going to save me a lot of money. It's going to replace my AAA. It's awesome. But then he wanted me to download some app that would allow me to take a picture of my odometer, when I can just call in to his office and tell the receptionist or whoever's answering the phone what my odometer mileage is, and then they can log it. Why do I have to download an entire app that takes up my memory, forces me to delete songs? No. I am not deleting my precious Oingo Boingo. Hey, I forgot to mention that today is 1221-1221. It's the Palindrome number, 1221. Thanks for listening to the show. But I think our society has gotten quite appy. It's an appy world we live in. Too many apps. Apps that I don't need. Apps I'm going to download, take up memory on my phone that I'm never going to use. So, beware of appish folk. Look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? It's a disgruntled fiddle player, Mike. Tell you what. What? I'm doing the winner's dance. I'm so happy that Trump is president, and now he's turned the process of picking the people for his cabinet into an episode of The Apprentice. Yeah, it is. It's turning into like a knife battle, like a reality TV show for all the people being picked. Or the media is framing it that way. I don't trust the media anymore. After the election, I got burned. All the times that those right-wing conservative talk show hosts said, you can't trust the media, the drive-by media. Well, they were right, because the media got it so wrong. So wrong. And they're not going to go, why did we get it so wrong? Only a couple of podcasts that I listened to. Oh, look who else just walked in. Folks that are hosts that are very pensive anyway, not like the Mike Pence, but they're pensive, and they're trying to figure out how this all went wrong. And they've come up with some interesting ideas and shows. Warren Olney did a show about it on his podcast To The Point. And this one, what's her name? Carrie Miller from NPR. That's Minnesota Public Radio. Oh, Minnesota! And I think I got one of those wrong. It's not Minnesota. Either Minnesota or Wisconsin. One of them did go to Hillary, but I thought they both went to Trump. I forget. I need to look that up. But I'm not going to do it now, because if I go on my computer and look it up, this show will crash. Because my recording software will crash. So, I try not to say things like so and all those other things that people start off. In today's world, so many people on the radio start off their sentences with so. I am going to not do that, even though I just did that. But people also use the and I don't know what to talk about next, They say a lot. These are bad things that podcasters, radio broadcasters, speakers, public speakers in general, teachers, it's a bad habit. And lots of them do it. A friend of mine that I work with, he had to record a show. The host of the show was going to have on a guest, and the guest was supposed to be this well-known public speaker. He got into the studio, was live on the radio, and this public speaker said, talked really far away from the microphone, like over here. Hey, I'm on the show, but I'm not even raising my voice. Yeah, I was shouting so you could still hear me. But this guy was talking really softly and way over here like this. Like you can't even hear him anymore. That's just ridiculous. People gotta shape up. The Electoral College, my friend. What do you think? So many people now are just done with it. Barbara Boxer said abolish it. The Electoral College, what do you think, Disgruntled Fiddle Player?
Well, it got Trump into the White House, so I kind of like it. Tell you what.
What?
Victory lap.
And then there's this wonderful restaurant in Podcastro Valley called Jenny's Cafe, and it's closing. And I only bring it up because so many breakfast restaurants in Podcastro Valley have closed in the past couple of years.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Which means I won't get diabetes. That means I won't have any pancakes or maple syrup anymore. The last podcast was about being healthy. So maybe this is a way to be healthy. But these little cafes like Jenny's Cafe had these owners that were there every day that got to be really close friends with the community of Castro Valley. So it's very sad that they're leaving. But it will be replaced by another restaurant of some sort that will do dinner and lunch instead of breakfast. The podcast picture today has to do with a place you can eat, although it's mega expensive, and I'm talking about the Tonga Room. Isn't it in the... What is that hotel it's in? Oh, who cares? I'm not giving them a free plug, because they frickin' won't give me a free night there, or a free dinner. But it's an interesting looking room. That water is imported from It's a Small World. From Disneyland, comes in all the way from Disneyland, and if you drink it, you get hallucinations. So check that picture out now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. I've always wanted to go to the Tonga Room, being that I live so close to it here in Podcastro Valley, and it is just a room with a big bunch of green water, and it rains sometimes. They make it fake rain, and it feels like you're somewhere in the islands. See that picture now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Anthony Bourdain went there with some famous San Francisco cook who works for a restaurant where the food is way too expensive and overpriced. But it's all locally sourced. All locally sourced and good for the environment. Self-sustaining. Sustainable. Finally, if you haven't watched Midsummer Murders yet on Netflix, let me tell you what you're missing. You're missing actors that are not CW glossed. Everything on American television and even on Netflix and Amazon, they're all CW glossed. They're young, their skin is flawless, they have bodies that are completely unattainable. They are just, they're unbelievably, they're the unattainable, and they are fake and unreal. And Midsummer Murders is opposite all of that. It's a murder show, as would the title imply. But it has to do... It has real... I mean, you see teeth that you're like, whoa! Those teeth grew that big and that small of a head? Wow! And other sort of thing. You know, women have wrinkles. Oh my God! Wow! Who would have thought it? Oh, you mean humans, as they get older, we get wrinkles? Wow. That's what these are on my face. All of these lines upon my face. Brandi Carlile. Listen to that song and cry. Oh, really quick. A country songwriter, singer that was kind of famous. She had a couple of hit songs. Holly Dunn has died at the young age of 59. I was very shocked to hear that. She had an aggressive form of ovarian cancer, and she had some great songs. You Really Had Me Going, and Love Someone Like Me, and Daddy's Hands, and a bunch of other cool country songs I used to play all the time on country radio. And I still play on countrycrossroadsradio.com on the weekend from 11 to 3 local time here in the Pacific Coast, West Coast region. PST? No, wait, we don't have the post-traumatic... we have the... Yeah, that time, the whatever time, the Pacific time. You know what I'm talking about anyway. MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com has got a link there to that radio show. And, yeah, so it's sad to hear about Holly Dunn. Even though those of you who like country probably don't even know who she is, but she did have some big hit songs. So I wanted to say Midsummer Murders. I would suggest that to you to watch it. It has been on for, I think, close to 30 years. And speaking of 30 years, that's how long I've had my AAA card, and I'm getting rid of it because I didn't realize my car insurance that I have is redundant and does a better job, and I already own this coverage that does the same thing the AAA does. So I've been wasting over $100 a year on stupid AAA, and it gives me nothing. So that's going, and apps are going that I don't need. And that's about it. So MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com features podcast pictures that I've done in the past. And you can also check out the wonderful Amazon link if you're going to buy anything on Amazon. Perhaps a camera to take your own wonderful podcast pictures. You can go through that Amazon link, and that helps us out. There's also a PayPal link. Click on that, and you can support the show and get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And the past shows are there. Links to all the places you can find us are there. Past interviews I've done, all at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And now we bring you this wonderful little segment called Ridiculous Random Posts.
Ridiculous Random Posts.
Somebody put this really funny post on Facebook that shows Joe Biden. This is Michael Foster. Michael Foster, who is he works in the movie business. He's a film editor. He has never listened to this show, but whatever. I've actually invited him to be on the show as a film critic, but he declined. But Michael Foster, who has a very, very cute sister who I knew, who used to listen to K-Hay when I worked in Ventura, California. Maureen, who is actually about to be a mom, actually. Anyway, Michael Foster posted this picture of Joe Biden and Obama sitting together, and Biden goes, "I'm not giving them the Wi-Fi password." And Obama says, "Joe." And Biden says, "I said what I said." So apparently there are all these memes now popping up because of the wonderful impending, I don't know if it's wonderful, but the impending new administration coming in. And Joe Biden just has these he just takes funny pictures. And he's been our vice president for the past 8 years. These memes existed long before the 2016 election. This according to the Washington Post. Imagine conversations between Obama and Biden, accompanied by photos of the duo accomplishing a variety of activities. Laughing, snapping selfies, licking ice cream, discussing what appears to be very serious and official White House business. They look like best buddies. And in each one, the men in their imagined conversations adopt the same personalities. Biden, the mischievous instigator, and Obama, the sober adult. Here's one of, the same exact picture they used for the one I mentioned earlier. Obama. "So I'll say the State of the Union is," and Biden goes, "on fleek. Say it's on fleek." Okay. Obama and Biden are sitting together on these collapsible chairs, and there's all these empty collapsible chairs around him. Obama says, "I'd like to sit alone, Joe." Biden says, "I'm Obama sit by you. And Obama says, there's plenty of other seats. And Biden says nothing. Because he's sad. Okay, but since America elected a new commander-in-chief last week, the Biden... Huh. Why didn't we ever do that? Biden memes have shifted in their thematic target. Now they're taking on President-elect Donald Trump, more specifically Joe Biden's imaginary ploys to prank Trump. Biden, all right, there's a picture of Obama, Biden, and Hillary together. Biden. Hillary was saying they took the W's off the keyboards when Bush won. Obama says, Joe, Biden says, I took the T's. They can only type rump. Okay, here's the plan. Have you seen Home Alone? Joe, no. Just one booby trap? Joe? What if we paint the Mexican flag in the office? Joe, no. I already ordered the paint. Joe? Come on, you gotta print a fake birth certificate. Fake birth certificate. Put it in an envelope labeled secret and leave it in the Oval Office desk. Joe? I'm never calling him Mr. President. Joe, please. Not even if there's a fire. I'm not Oh, I already did that one. And others imagine the vice president making jokes about Trump's tiny hands. What is it, Joe? And it shows Biden laughing. I made all the White House doorknobs giant. Why? Now Trump's hands are going to be too small to open them. Ah, wonderful. The Washington Post goes on to say that despite his fun-loving Uncle Joe nickname, Biden has actually been called one of the most influential vice presidents in the country's history. As the Post's Joel Goldstein wrote in July, Biden negotiated various budget deals with Republican leaders and managed the economic recovery plan and the Iraq disengagement. Biden has led the administration's fight against campus sexual assault, including writing a widely read open letter to the young woman who was sexually assaulted by former Stanford swimmer Brock Turner. Nevertheless, it's the vice president's laid-back personality and mischievous sense of humor that has won America's hearts during his 8 years in the White House. The meme world will miss him. Well... Oh, and there's a great picture of the two of them running, of Joe Biden and Obama running together, and they're like wearing their ties, their business suits without their jackets. And Joe says, Barack, where are we going? And Barack says, far, far away, Joe, far, far away. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast. Thank you to the Washington Post and to Joe Biden. Well, you guys won't have Joe Biden around to punch anymore. Punch. Won't have Joe Biden to kick around. Anyway, have a wonderful Cafe Anyway day. I hope you enjoy, or wherever cafe you're at.
Anyway.
Oh, you're at Cafe Anyway?
Anyway.
Maybe you're going to Jenny's Cafe one last time. Whatever. Enjoy your day, and I feel like there was more I wanted to touch on, but I'm not going to do it, Benita. That's all right, Mac. I don't care what y'all talk about. Just as long as I get out of here. I got things to do. People and me. Fish to catch. You're going fishing? Yeah. You like to fish? No. Why are you going to go fishing? Going with my husband, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Benita Ixnay on the fish nay.
All right, I feel like I've walked into an area that I probably shouldn't. Oh, we didn't talk to this guy that always comes here. He makes the root beer in the basement.
Hello, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Yay! We're so glad you stopped by.
Have some root beer.
Love it. All right. Cheers to you, listener. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, full of news that happened right now. Now.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.